Yeah. Somebody say yes if you can hear me. Why is it blown out though? Yes. Okay, thank you everybody.
Do you want me to turn that down?
No, I forget. Right. How does it look? Is it blown out?
A little blown out.
All right. Sorry, let's figure this out. Hey, natural light. Okay. Going where the wind is blowing, holding on to letting go. I know it. That's how I got this far. I don't think this guitar. Hang on. Oh, we got a bad cable. That's better. Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties, but we're good. Ah, that guitar sounds way better now. All right. That is really loud for me. Hang on. All right. Woo! We're low key. We're just hanging out. Going where the wind is blowing, holding on to letting go. I know it. That's how I got this far. Running while the world was walking, dreaming while the rest was sleeping. Solo, you can only go so far. Way up high, I'm just another man. Knock me down into your arms again. Say the word and my love will follow. Say the word and my love will follow. Then it goes like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just say the word, just say the word, my love. Hey. I built me the kind of reputation that gets me anything I'm craving, baby. I trade it all for you. Ooh, just like that. Won't even skip a beat. Drop my plans. Live like we were meant to be. Say the word and my love will follow. You just say the word and my love will follow. Follow, follow. Ooh, that's right. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just say the word, just say the word, my love. Hey, hey, and darling, you're the only girl that I'd follow around the world, way up high. I'm just another man. Knock me down into your arms again. Say the word and my love will follow. Yeah, yeah, around the world like there's no tomorrow. I'll follow, and this is how we go. Sing, ooh, ooh, that's right. Ooh, 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 yeah, just say the word, my love. sing with me. Say the word, say the word, say the word. Say the word, say the word, just say that you can. Say the word, just say the word, just say the word. Just say the word, just say the word, just say the word. Ooh. Woo! How's it going, everybody? Here I am. Thanks for hanging out with me from the comfort of my own little studio in my home in Nashville, Tennessee. It's been a good, challenging Kickstarter campaign. Thank you guys so much for helping me get to our initial goal. And, you know, we've got a stretch goal of 32 to meet. And for those of you who aren't aware, if we do reach 32,000, I'm going to do another Queen song on my covers EP now. Of course, we have Don't Stop Me Now that's already on the record. But I'd love to do a second one for you if we get to that 32 mark. So this is just me saying thank you guys for those of you who have pledged already, who've pre-bought the EPs and pre-bought all the other options. And yeah, this is fun for me. I'd love to play some songs for you. I'm going to play some more for you. Another update. I'll give you some more updates later. I'm going to play some more music right now. And do I want to do that song? I don't know if I want to do that song just yet. Sure. We'll get to some Queen later. I have Queen on my set list right now as a second song, but let's do that later. So I recently got to play a show in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I pulled out a couple songs that I haven't played in years, some Down Here tunes. So I want to play a Down Here tune for you. For those of you who don't know, Down Here is my old band. And we toured together all over the world for 13 years. And yes, we made some great music together. And this is a song that we would end a lot of our shows with. It goes like this. Out of solid rock, I made a river. To a desert drought, I brought the rain. Did you doubt for a moment that I felt your pain? Just when you think the story's over, you know my love is strong as ever. 'Cause I'm gonna bleed for this love. To a flooded land, I sent a leaf. And from your captor's grip, I gave you release. Yeah. Did you fear for a moment that I'd leave you there? Just when you think the story's over, you know my love is strong as ever. 'Cause I'm gonna bleed for this love. Yes, I'm gonna bleed for this love. And to give you life, I'll be the ransom. And to pay your debt, I'll give it all. Yeah, I'll give it all. Just when you think the story's over, you know my love is strong as ever. 'Cause I'm gonna bleed for this love. Yes, I'm gonna bleed for this love. For this love, I'm gonna bleed for this love. Oh, yes, I'm gonna bleed for this love, for this love, for this love. Oh, sing that out. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna bleed for this love. Oh, for this love, I'm gonna bleed for this love. For this love. For this love. That was Bleed for This Love by Down Here, my old band. Fun to play some old songs. Thank you for turning off my reverb, Josh. Josh is here to help me. He's my manager and good friend, and he's fielding a lot of your questions as this is happening. Isn't this fun? Man, I love doing this. I need to do it more often. I know I said that the last time I did this, and we waited like 5 months to do it again, but hey, here we are. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us for this. We're in this home stretch of this Kickstarter campaign, and we're doing so well, guys. Thank you so much. And so I've updated you about the EP. The covers EP is almost done. We've done 5 songs so far. I think we've announced all those songs, right? Yes, we have. We've got Don't Stop Me Now. We got Take On Me. Take It With Me by Tom Waits, which is a little bit of a dark horse, but you're going to love it because it's a song, one of my favorite songs of all time. We've got My Way by Paul Anka, and made famous by Frank Sinatra, of course. And that is going to be also a favorite moment. I think you're really going to dig that one. We kind of gave it our own flavor, yet we've kept the melody that you love intact, and I'm just so proud of what Ben and I have accomplished. We worked so hard on that one. We started over a couple times on that one because we just had to find just the right way to make that song that's so iconic, that so many people know, and just kind of give it our own flavor. Also, the last one we haven't, the 5th one is Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. It's going to be, I'm so happy this covers EP is turning out to be something that feels more than just a covers EP. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but back in the day, a lot of the greatest artists like Frank Sinatra and lots of people became great artists by singing other people's music. And that's something I'm just kind of learning now late in my career, that there's nothing wrong with singing other people's music. Of course, you know me from singing Queen. But I grew up being a singer-songwriter, and I just played you a couple of my own tunes. But I'm really starting to love playing other people's songs and making them my own, because I just love to sing big songs. So that's what the covers EP is all about. The Christmas EP is underway. Jordan and I, my friend Jordan and I, have gotten a really great start on the first Noel. The EP is going to be called the first Noel EP. And we've also got It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, featuring my new friend Plum. We've got Mary Did You Know, which we haven't started on. We've got Do You Hear What I Hear, which we haven't started on yet. And it is one of the hotter summers I can remember in Nashville. And here we are in late July recording Christmas music, and that's just the way it goes. You know, you can't record Christmas music at Christmas because that's when you want people to listen to it. So here we are in the middle of July talking about Christmas music, and I know a lot of you are like, don't talk about Christmas until December 1st. That's just the way it is for recording music. You got to plan ahead. But we're going to move on to some more music. And, you know, you've heard me sing this song countless times, and it's sort of one of my my cables are all wrapped up in a really fun way here. So I'd love to play for you guys. Keep saying you guys. There's ladies too. That's such a Canadian thing to do. Say you guys when you mean guys and girls. But what'd you say?
There's ladies too.
Ladies too. If it weren't for the ladies, we wouldn't be here. But this is, as many of you know, the song that started it all. Hey, Josh, would you just, that big round dial right next to your hand, just turn it counterclockwise just a little bit. Check, check, check. Just a little more. Keep going. Hey, hey, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this is the song that started it all for me back in, I wouldn't say it started it all. It started my journey with Queen in 2011. And I'm sure if you haven't seen this viral video yet, well, you're missing out, because at least 20 million other people have seen this video of me performing this. Actually, this is the very spot that I performed my viral video of Somebody to Love. I was standing right here. And it looks a little different now because my wife, who loves me very much, surprised me by redecorating my entire studio while I was on the road with the Queen Extravaganza in 2013, 12 or 13, I forget which tour it was. But I came home from tour, and she had and with the help of Josh and a bunch of our other friends, she had totally like redecorated my entire studio. We used to have just plain dirty white walls, and none of this wood was here. It was real ugly. You can go see for yourself. But this is the very spot where I recorded that viral video. So I would like to redeem myself a little bit. Yeah, each morning I get up, I die a little. Can't barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry. Lord, what you doing to me? I've spent all my years believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? Hey, yeah. I work hard every day of my life. I work till like my boss. At the end of the day, I take them out and pay all on my own. I go down my knees and I start to pray till the tears run down from my eyes. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? He works hard every day. I tried, but everybody wants to put me down. They say I've gone crazy. They say a lot of want to be my brain. I got no common sense, got nobody left to believe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? I've got no feel, I've got no rhythm. I just keep losing my beat, but I'm okay, I'm alright. 'Cause I ain't gonna face no defeat. I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free, Lord. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me, find me, find me to love. Find me somebody to love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Somebody, 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 somebody find me, somebody find me, somebody to love. Can anybody find me? Somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Somebody to love. Find me somebody anywhere. Oh, find me somebody to love. Can you find me somebody? Ooh. Anybody, anywhere, anybody, can you find me somebody, somebody to love? Find me, find me, find me. Well, do I want a suggestion?
Oh, yeah.
What's the suggestion?
We have Rock Stars Need Money, Magnetic, Straight Jacket, or Keith Green.
Magnetic. You know what? I'm going to do it. Not Magnetic, though. I'm not prepared for Magnetic. You know, I know a lot of songs, but I can't keep them all fresh in my mind. This might be a train wreck because I haven't played this song in years, literally years. And I'm not confident that I know it well, but it doesn't matter because it's a silly song. And if it goes silly, we're all good. So back when Down Here started, my old band Down Here, fond memories with those guys. And welcome all of you who know me from that. When we first started, we started a band in college in Saskatchewan in 1999. And there was this other band called Sweet Salt that was also based out of our college. And they were marketing geniuses and we were not. And something that they would do in their shows to get people, to convince people to spend money on their merchandise, their CDs, their t-shirts, their posters and whatever, was they wrote this silly song called Buy Our CD. And it always went over gangbusters with the teenagers and whoever was there. And they sold just a lot of merch. And we were like, man, when I say merch, that's industry speak for merchandise. So they were selling so much merchandise and we were doing shows, you know, and we felt like we were doing really great shows, yet our merchandise wasn't selling very well. And we needed that. We needed those sales to buy, you know, fuel to get to the next show and, you know, all of that stuff that a rock band needs to survive. So we decided to copy Sweet Salt and make our own merchandise song. And at the time, my brother was also in college and he was surviving on bologna sandwiches, literally, because it's the only thing he could afford. And so he ate basically nothing but bologna sandwiches for lunch and dinner for about 2 months until he realized that his skin was turning a little bit disgusting shade of green. And so he told me that story over the phone one day and I was like, man, that's so sad. I'm so sorry, brother. You know, I wish you didn't, you know, you could survive on something other than bologna sandwiches. And so that gave me the idea that rock stars can't live on bologna. And so based off my brother's personal struggle in college, I wrote a song called Rock Stars Need Money. Rock stars need money. We can't live live on bologna sandwiches. Rock stars need money and it comes from you. Rock stars need money. We can't live on bologna sandwiches. We can try, but we'd really rather not, you know. Rock stars need money. We can't live on bologna sandwiches. Need money and it comes from you. And you, and you, and you, and you. Hey, rock stars need money. We can't live on bologna sandwiches. We can try, but we'd really rather not, you know. So, ooh, buy my album, ooh, or a poster, a sticker, whatever. Just help me get through the week and make these EPs. Rock stars need money. We can't live on bologna sandwiches. Rock stars need money and it comes from you. And you, and you, and you, and you. Hey, rock stars need money. We can't live on bologna sandwiches. We can try, but we'd really rather not, you know. 'Cause rock stars need money. That's not the way the song ends, but I forget how it goes, so I'm gonna end it like this. And you. That's how, oh no. So close. I had it, almost had it. But yeah, speaking of that, tell your friends who haven't pledged already. And thank you for being here. And the reason you're here is because you have pledged already. And I'm very, very, very thankful for you guys. All right. So that was an oldie, very oldie, silly, but goodie, I guess. So we're going to move on to another song. I'd like to play another one off of my Impersonator album. Is that all right?
Sure.
Or should we skip that?
Whatever you want to do.
Oh, whatever I want to do. That's very exciting. All right. This is a love song I wrote for my wife. And traveling with Down Here, they all got married before I did. So I got to observe their marriages before I got married. And by the time I got married in 2010, I felt like, I got this. And then I realized that I don't got this. I won't back down, got you dead in my sights. All spoils to the crown, two for wrong, one for right. Intimidation won't faze me. My ammunition sound and I won't break this. Stalemate, nobody wins. Can't take your eyes off the other sins. Stalemate, are we just gonna wait here, betting each other that we won't pull the trigger? Darling, don't pull the trigger. Across state lines, retreated to a safe house, playing bad cop to a truth that won't come out. It never ceases to amaze me how lovers can be so crazy, cruel. Stalemate, nobody wins. Can't take your eyes off the other sins. Stalemate, are we just gonna wait here, betting each other that we won't pull the trigger? Stalemate, oh. Stalemate, darling, don't pull the trigger. Stalemate, oh. Stalemate, darling, don't pull the trigger. can we escape this tired rhythm? What if we give up the right to be the victim? And just surrender together, stalemate. Nobody wins, can't take your eyes off the other one's sins. Stalemate, are we just gonna wait here, betting each other that we won't pull the trigger? Stalemate, oh, stalemate, can we surrender together? Stalemate, and break out of this rhythm. Stalemate, darling, don't pull the trigger. Darling, don't pull the trigger. Baby, don't pull the trigger.
Want to do Love of My Life? Or we can go into play the game.
Yeah, let's yeah, we're gonna do some Queen song, another Queen song. But here's one that you haven't seen me perform yet. It's started performing it with the Ultimate Queen Celebration. And it's a song that I've always loved by Queen and just never got around to singing it. Maybe because it's one that I love. A lot of people like it, but it's maybe not in the canon of their greatest hits. Although I really think it's a greatest hit. So I'm totally fine. I'm not emotional. It's just I get into the I get swept up in the moment with these songs. I wrote that one for my wife, and I love her very much. Say what?
What if you made yourself emotional over the music? That would be amazing.
I did. I made myself emotional over the music. Fine. Thumbs up to that. It's good. You got to feel it, you know? So here is, yeah, it's a Queen tune, right? And it's in the same key. If it sounds like it's in the same key, it's because it is. So, open up your mind and let me step inside. Rest your weary head and let your heart decide. It's so easy when you know the rules. It's so easy. All you have to do is fall in love. Play the game. Everybody play the game of love. When you're feeling down and your resistance is low, light another cigarette and let yourself go. This is your life. Don't play hard to get. It's a free world. All you have to do is fall in love. Play the game. Everybody play the game of love. Yeah. My game of love that's just begun. Love runs from my head down to my toes. My love is running through my veins, driving me insane. Come, play the game, play the game, play the game, play the game. Yeah. the game of love. This is your life. Don't play hard to get. It's a free, free world. All you have to do is fall in love. Play the game. Everybody play the game of love. Yeah, Queen. Yeah. Boom. How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? I love that song. What do you say?
Everyone's very excited.
Everyone's very excited, Josh says. Very excited.
Suggestion for Save Me, or Keith Green, or Straight Jacket, or continuing the set list.
What Keith Green song would I play? So I grew up listening to an artist named Keith Green, and he's basically the artist that, for me, changed my life and made me want to do what he did. And I'm thinking, is there a song I know well enough right now in my head to do that? So he died in 1983 in a plane crash, very tragically at the age of 28, not 27, 28, along with two of his very young children in the plane. But in the sort of 5 years that he had as a professional musician, he was at the beginning of the Jesus movement when Christians were finally embracing rock and roll and making their own rock and roll that was very meaningful to them, very meaningful to us. And so Keith was a piano rocker. He's very much in the vein of early Billy Joel and early Elton John. And so I gravitated to him, and he had a very energetic personality. And a lot of the people here in Nashville who knew him personally said you probably wouldn't like hanging out with him because he was super intense and he was a lot to handle. But man, he had an energy on stage that was second to none, and an incredible songwriter and very, very passionate performer. And so he, his widow, wrote a book in the 90s, I believe, called No Compromise. And I read that book, and I was already very familiar with Keith's music, and reading the book kind of gave me insight into his life that I didn't have before. And so re-fell in love with his music, and this is one of my favorite songs of his. And if I have to stop it early because I don't remember the lyrics, I'm very sorry about that to all you Keith Green lovers. So here we go. You know what? I've got an iPad here. Why don't I get the lyrics in front of me? Technology is good, my people.
Is there any genre that you would consider your favorite and why?
My favorite genre? I don't know, like rock and roll is what I grew up on, right? But I've learned to, and I used to be a little bit close-minded about what music I liked. And in this last decade, maybe not even that long, I've started to embrace other styles. I'm drawn to music with big melodies, for big singers, because that's the most enjoyment I get out of it, is music that challenges me vocally. And so that's why I love Queen. That's why I've started to get into, Frank Sinatra, and I've done opera. Rock has a special place in my life, in my heart, although it's probably not the kind of rock that most of you music aficionados love. Like people who love rock usually say, well, the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff. But I never really got into that music as a kid. So I listened to a lot of top 40 radio. I got in, as you probably know, George Michael was a big one for me. And I guess he straddled the line between rock and pop. But in the 90s, I got into grunge music big time, like Pearl Jam. Was a huge influence on me, and you can hear it if you listen to early Down Here music. It's there. You can hear the Eddie Vedder influence in my voice, and it's a little cringeworthy, honestly, because his voice doesn't really suit what I have going for me. Yeah, grunge was a big influence on me. Not so much Nirvana. I found Nirvana's music a little too dark for me, And Pearl Jam had that hope in the music that really I gravitated to. So I'm going to pull up this lyric for this song, and I would like to sing it for you. It's called "Asleep in the Light," and we'll see how far we get into it. All right. Do you see all the people sinking down? Don't you care? Don't you care? Are you gonna let them drown? How can you be so numb not to care if they come? You close your eyes and pretend the job's done. Oh, bless me, Lord, you know it's all I ever hear. No one aches, no one hurts, no one even sheds one tear. But he cries, he weeps, he bleeds, and he cares for your needs. And you just lay back and keep soaking it in. Oh, can't you see it's such sin? 'Cause he brings people to, boy, people to your door, turn them away. God bless you, be at peace, and forever just weeps. 'Cause Jesus came to your door, you left him out in the street. And that was a short version of that song. Trying to avoid a train wreck there. Okay, so here's a song that I think is the most beautiful song possibly that Brian May has ever written, and it's sad, but it's got a beauty in the ache that I really love. And you may have never, you probably have never heard me sing. Say again? Did you say something? I'm hearing things. All right. I'm just the pieces of the man I used to be. Too many bitter tears are raining down on me. I'm far away from home, and I've been facing this alone for much too long. I feel like no one ever told the truth to me about growing up and what a struggle it would be. In my tangled state of mind, I've been looking back to find where I went wrong. Too much love will kill you if you can't make up your mind. Torn between the lover and the love you leave behind. You're headed for disaster, 'cause you never read the signs. Too much love will kill you every time. I'm just the shadow of the man I used to be, and it seems like there's no way out of this for me. I used to bring you sunshine, now all I ever do is bring you down. Yeah, how would it be if you were standing in my shoes? Can't you see that it's impossible to choose? No, there's no making sense of it. Everywhere I go, I I'm bound to lose. Oh, yeah, too much love will kill you. Just as sure as none at all. It'll drain the power within you, make you plead and scream and crawl, and the pain will make you crazy. You're the victim of your crime. Too much love will kill you every time. Too much love will kill you. It'll make your life a lie. Yes, too much love will kill you, and you won't understand why. You give your life, you sell your soul, but here it comes again. Too much love will kill you in the end. In the end.
You got time for a couple questions?
Yeah, let's take a couple questions.
Daryl wants to know what's the best way you can support musicians now? Concerts, physical media, or streaming?
The best way, if I had to pick to support an artist, concerts, physical media, or streaming. Unless you stream all day long, one single artist, then you're probably contributing a bit to them. But the revenue from streaming is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny each time you play a song. So only the very biggest artists these days are making a profit on Spotify and all the other streaming services. I don't mean to single out one, but yeah, the best way you can support an artist is go see them live, buy their albums, whether you buy their music online or buy the physical CD. Buying the physical CD at the concert that you're watching them at is the best way, because not only are you paying for the ticket, you're also paying for the money, and they get it right there. So that is definitely the best way. Buying any of their merchandise, t-shirts, whatever they have on the tables, that is the best way. But I understand the convenience of streaming, and it's kind of hard to fight that these days. But that's my answer to that.
Don wants to know what artists have you met that you got you starstruck?
What artists have I met that got me starstruck? So the first time I got starstruck is funny. It's warm in here. It's Nashville's super hot. So down here had just moved down to Nashville, Tennessee from Saskatchewan. So we were like these green little babies entering the music industry, not knowing what we were doing, except that we felt like we had something to offer music to the world. So we were recording our first album. It was our first day at a studio in Franklin, Tennessee called the Bennett House, and it's not there anymore, unfortunately, but it was a beautiful old house that a lot of great records were made in. And we were in the studio with who's now my good friend Todd Robbins and Craig Mason, who was the A&R guy. Todd Robbins was engineering the record. And so I go and take a break from the studio, and I walk into the kitchen at the Bennett House, and there's this woman with her back to me sitting at the kitchen table. There's an island table in the middle of the kitchen, and I'm going to make myself some toast or something, and she's sitting there eating a bowl of cereal, brunette. And I walk by her to the toaster, and I just being friendly, saying, "Hello, how are you doing?" And then as I pass her, I notice and realize immediately that it's Amy Grant, who, if you don't know Amy Grant, she's one of the top two, if not the biggest all-time Christian artist Christian music artists of all time. And it's the only time in my life that I've actually done a double take. And I was so embarrassed in the moment because I walked by her and I go, hello. Oh, hello. And she said hi back. And that was my first interaction with Amy Grant. And so that was a bit of a starstruck moment. My another moment, meeting the Queen guys. I was much older. I was 35, I think, when I met Roger Taylor and Brian May. And so, you tend to be less influenced by meeting famous people. But, there was still a little bit of, whoa, finally meeting the guy. Like, people have been telling me I sound like Freddie for so long. And that journey had finally somehow taken me to the source. The guys who were in the band who played with Freddie Mercury on stage with him for 20 years. And I was finally meeting Roger Taylor. And a few months later, I met Brian May in Los Angeles when he came to help set up the guitar tones for the Queen Extravaganza, because we were in our initial rehearsals for our American Idol appearance. And I was almost more starstruck to meet his guitar, the Red Special. Honestly, I was chatting with Brian, who's a lovely, lovely man, and he, for some reason, he's for something that is so priceless, his Red Special guitar, which he built with his dad. He's so not that careful with it. It's a piece of rock gear, and he's been playing it for 40 plus years. And he said, would you like to hold my guitar? And I was like, yes, please. So I strapped on his guitar, and I was very nervous. And the neck of the guitar is much, much wider, much fatter than guitars I'm used to playing. And so I just strummed it a bit, and I'm like, thank you, sir. Here's your priceless piece of rock history back. So that was a funny moment. So yeah, those are two moments that, meeting very famous people that I was sort of very imprinted on, if that makes sense. Anyway. Two more songs. All right. Yep. Okay. Two more tunes, Peep. Thanks for hanging in there. It's been an hour. I'm just having so much fun. I plan to do half an hour to 45 minutes, but we're just trucking on here. And my capo is right here. And so yep. This is a tune that is very well known. All right, hit that reverb. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I will only be in your way. And I will always love you. Will always love you. My darling, you. Bittersweet memories, that is all I'm taking with me. So I'll go, but I know I will think of you every step of the way. And I will love you. I will always love you. La da 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 da. Well, I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you find all you dreamed of, and I wish you joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love. And I will always love you. 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 I love you. I will always love you. Uno mas. Thank you, everyone, for pledging and pre-buying these EPs that I'm well underway making. Yeah, like I said, the covers EP is almost done, and the Christmas EP is underway, and we will have those out to you because of your generosity in buying these early. We'll have them out to you sometime late this year, and you'll get them both at the same time.
You want to take one more question?
Yeah, sure. I'll take one more question.
So this is an interesting question. Laura asked for you to talk a little bit about transitioning from a Christian band to doing Queen all the time. So maybe you could talk about playing a bunch of different styles and maybe Christmas and going on the road chasing. And being able to play all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it was. I mean, it was a transition for sure, going from a Christian rock band to playing Queen. You know, most, I guess, heavily Queen. Still did a lot of my own personal shows. Like I went on tour with the Impersonator album with a band, and we did those shows. So in a way, that was kind of like starting over with a new band, my solo stuff. But going from Christian rock to classic rock, of course, it was a little weird for me because I'd never performed other people's music before. I did not grow up wanting to be a tribute artist, although that's become a big part of my life, and it's amazing to get on stage and people already know all the music, right? People know Queen's music back and front, especially in the UK and in Europe. So I don't know, it was a lot of fun for me. I do miss a little bit doing only my music, but it's a strange balance of other people's music and mine now, which is kind of the best of both worlds. And speaking of that, I get to go on tour with Jason Gray, my old friend Jason Gray, who toured a lot with Down Here back in the day. I think we did 6 tours together. He is an incredible singer-songwriter and is a great storyteller. His storytelling is as good as his songwriting. And so I'll be going on tour with him this Christmas. I haven't even seen what cities they are yet, but has that been announced yet?
We announced it, but not the city.
The cities have not been announced yet, so you will find out soon after I find out eventually. So I get to do both at the same time now. We're doing my own music, and other times during the year I'm doing Queen, or I'm doing my own rock, or whatever it is. I love I do love the variety. It keeps me on my toes, and you know, I think I'm reaching a wider audience this way, and so it's an incredible opportunity to not uh, only do my music but other people's music as well. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, and I'm having a great time.
One more song.
One more song. I don't know what I'm going to do with the middle part of this song because I amazingly, in all these years playing this song, I've never learned the piano part for the middle part. So we'll struggle through it together. Thanks everybody for coming. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh, for being here. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy because I'm easy go, little high, little low. Anyway the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, to me. Whoa. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really matters. Too late, my time is gone. Sent shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go. Gotta leave you behind to face the truth. Mama, ooh, I don't wanna die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. Ooh. I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche to the fandango, thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening. The Galileo figure, magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go, let it go. Bismillah, we will not let you go, let me go. Bismillah, we will not let you go, will not let you go. Never, never let me go. Oh, no, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub, there's a devil put aside for me, for me. For me, louder. So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. Anyway the wind blows. Thanks, everybody. See you.